All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. And we want to make sure that we're taking massive action. That action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So we've got some things to get to this morning. If everybody can hear me okay, drop me a one in the chat. All right, perfect. I appreciate that. Let's get to it. Let's slide over to trading economics and take a look at what we have for today. Uh Boom. So there we go. Euro area inflation falls. Annual inflation rate in the Eurozone fell to 1.8% in September, the lowest since April 2021, compared to 2.2 in August, and a forecast of, it says 1.9, but I have a forecast of 1.8, and it being in line with expectation. But preliminary estimates showed inflation is now below the ECB's target of 2%. Right. The core rate also eased to 2.7 from 2.8. So inflation coming down in the Eurozone. We've been talking about, where the ECB is as far as continued rate cuts. Um, so we'll see how large their next cut is, right? And that'll be kind of the conversation going forward there. Brent crude drops. Crude futures fell towards $70 per barrel, hitting a 3-week low as a weak market sentiment outweighs the risk from the Middle East. Libya is preparing to resume oil production after rival governments settled a dispute that halted output. Normally producing 1.2 million barrels a day, Libya's production fell below 450,000 barrels in August due to the political conflict. Sources say oil production, excuse me, could restart within hours. Also, prices under pressure from expectations that OPEC Plus will follow through on its plans to increase output in December, alongside concerns of weaker demand from China. All right. Um, OPEC Plus will hold a meeting on Wednesday to assess the market. Meanwhile, tensions escalate in the Middle East, with Israel conducting ground raids in Libya. Okay. So then he talked about on Saturday just how the market has been shrugging off the conflict in the Middle East and it spreading further. And you see here, right? It is, right? So prices pulling back on oil. And we'll see what happens on Wednesday with the OPEC Plus meeting to see if they will follow through with their December plans to increase output. They've already pushed that back once. It was supposed to be October. They pushed it back to December. So we'll see how things go from there. And then we'll see if um, things in China start to stabilize after their stimulus last week and potentially more stimulus coming for China. So we'll see if that demand out of China shifts as well. All right. Mm, mm, mm. That's it for the main part there. Over to the calendar. I didn't get a chance to look to see what the conversations were yesterday from the FOMC members. Um, we had on that's today. I'm sorry. Yesterday we had Fed Chair Powell speak. um, and President Lagarde speak. I didn't get a chance to see what they talked about, but um, we had Chicago CPI came in at expectation. Um, and then today, here we are, right? That's the Eurozone data. We also had PMI data from the Eurozone. Hmm, a little bit mixed. Some above expectation, some at expectation. And then the Italian manufacturing PMI came in below expectation. Here's that core CPI number. Later on today, we got PMI data for Canada and the United States. We'll see where that falls. And then ISM manufacturing PMI for the dollar and JOLTS job openings for the dollar as well, coming later on today. And then we got FOMC members speaking later on this morning and this evening. So we'll see what they have to say regarding inflation. The bets are 40 basis points by the end of the year, and then potentially another 80 basis points in 2025. So it'll be interesting to hear their sentiment on those thoughts, and then see just how the market continues to move along with that. Coming for tomorrow, there's an OPEC meeting. Then at 8:15, non-farm employment change, the precursor to that Friday report, crude oil inventories, and more members speaking. All right. So this is a little bit of a lighter week early on, right? CPI for the Swissy on Thursday, unemployment claims for the dollar, final services PMI, and ISM services PMI for the dollar. And then on Friday, we got our non-farm payroll average earnings and unemployment rate data on Friday. All right. Um, I'm watching from a fundamental perspective um, that conflict in the Middle East because it's definitely starting to spread. Um, they launched a ground attack, which is said to be um, not large or not supposed to be large. However, it's looking like it is. And just some of the things that I've been reading is that this ground attack in Lebanon is similar to the ground attack in 1982, which led to Israel basically overtaking territory that lasted until 2000. So, some similarities from history that are kind of in view there. So watching to see where that goes and how it goes. Um, the United States is also sending troops over to the Middle East to support Israel in the event that they need it, in case others step in to combat Israel. So keeping an eye there as the United States is sending support. So it'll be uh, from a currency perspective, I'm watching for potential risk off moves um, coming in the coming weeks. So looking to see how the markets move there. Any questions from a fundamental perspective or anything that you guys have on your radars? No? All right, cool deal. Let's hop over to the charts, take a look at the dollar, see where it sits. Let's go back to the daily so we can look at this here, right? Trying to break out of this range, right? This smaller range from the larger range. So bottom, right? Three touches at this daily support. We're pushing back to the upside. Okay. Pushing back to the upside. So let's see when we get back to around this 101, 102 area, if we're able to break out of the range and continue moving to the upside. Um, uh, so dollar pushing along from a daily time frame perspective, right? And we got our swing low to form here. Okay. And we're moving back to the upside. We had that little bit in this what that is there. But looks like we'll be moving bullish today. And we'll see if we continue that, like I said, at least to that 101, 102 area. And then we'll see what happens from there. Okay. Um, mm, mm, mm. So down to the 4, right? You see that move back to the upside. And so we'll watch to see how how the dollar continues to move. The dollar could also be used as a safe haven asset, right? With the things happening in the Middle East. So that could give the dollar an additional boost as well. So we'll watch and see how things go from here. Right. But looking to move to the upside back to the top of the larger range here. Okay. Um, Smart sheets. I got you, Joy. We'll take a look at it. So that's the DXY. Come on over, take a look at oil, right? This is where we are on oil. We had that swing low to form. We pushed up to that previous support, right? Yeah, previous support. That zone is serving as resistance. Okay. So I'll shift that daily level up there. And this is that pullback that came. Now, what to watch, right? Stochastic pushing down into the buy zone. Okay, so this is that initial push. We're getting a pullback here. And we can look at this on the lower time frame as well. But, right, 8-6 retracement off the low, right? So this could be just a pullback. We could see fundamentally things shift, right? As the tensions continue to flare in the Middle East. Maybe OPEC Plus talks about pausing because of the lack of demand, right? So we could see fundamental shift and see oil make its next move to the upside and break this level of resistance. So watching this here to see as the stochastic gets into the buy zone, if we do get this shift, right? And we get another swing low to form here on the daily time frame after this retracement, and we get another move to the upside. Okay. So watching that there to see how oil moves. Coming down to the 4, right? Looking at this a little more closely, we see, right, that push down took out that fib as it moved lower. So you will flip that and shift it back down like that. So let's see. Let's see how price moves here and see if we get another move to the upside. Okay. Then on the 1, boom. So basically, we're looking to see if this level at 66, 66.11 holds. Right? If we don't break that level, then we could see price rise. And then we get a harmonic formation from there. So that's really what I'm looking for is oil to move back to the upside if we're able to stay above $66 a barrel. All right. Questions on oil? No. Okay. All right. Cool deal. Um, Let's go. I want to look at these yens because they're in interesting situations, right? They made that nice move to the upside initially, this Aussie yen, right? We know we got that swing low there. We know we got a stochastic in the sell zone. We know we got a rejection off of this 99.88 level, pushed down, we pulled back. Now looking to see what happens to see if there's another move to the downside, or do we push further to the upside and break this level, right? So watching to see how the market moves here with the stochastic in the buy zone. Okay. If we get this swing high to form here, right? If today closes lower, we could be in for another move to the downside, at least in the short term. Okay, just as a retracement off of that level. Um, there's your fib there coming off the low. We got a 50% push, right? But does this turn into a double top, or are we able to break and continue moving long? Okay. I over the coming months, I am looking for, we'll come back to the monthly. I am looking for this to move back to the upside for a little bit, right? um, coming back to this 102. Um, here we go. Coming back to this 102,096 level here. Okay, so I'm looking for another push to the upside. It's just a matter of when that comes, right? Maybe we get a pullback first and then a move back long. So watching the back and forth here on the yens across the board, right? We come down to the 4, and this is our look here. We just missed a 382 on the retracement. So like I said, maybe we get another push down, coming to the sweet spot here on the 4, and then get that move back up to the upside and getting us back to that that level there. Okay. And maybe it looks like an 80-20, right? If we don't get that initial push down. So watching that there, coming down to the 1 hour, right? That was the 80-20 from last week, moved down 50%. Now we're trying to figure it out. We did break the cloud here. We got a bullish cloud ahead and we're pulling back. So again, watching to see how it moves here to see if we get a continuation to the upside or if there's a deeper move in store before we get that next push. Okay. So watching this level here, 99, to see if that previous resistance holds as support on this Aussie yen and then giving us that next push. Okay. Questions on the Aussie yen? All right, cool deal. Um, Cadian, similar story, right? Get on this Cadian. I'm looking for price to come to 112, right? Yes, we're pushing down. Haven't been able to close below that level yet. Strong reactions once we got there. At some point, looking for price to continue moving to that 112, 708 range before we get the continuation down. Okay. Um, so coming down to the daily, 786 retracement. We're trying to get the move back long, right? So we're watching here to see what happens. Stochastic also in the sell zone here, right? So another scenario where we could see another push down before we continue to the upside. Okay, so watching these closely to see how price decides to move, right? And then coming off the high there, we had our 80-20, nice reversal. We got to that 382 level, and now we're pulling back. Okay, so we're mixed on each time frame, but right, if this low doesn't get broken, okay, we could see price continue to rise, getting us to these higher price targets that I have my eyes on. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for on the CAD yen. More upside movement. It's just a matter of when. Okay. Questions here?
Nope.
All right. We'll deal. Swiss yen. This is the one that gets interesting. Um, because of the state of the Swissy. So we got two different looks here, right? From a larger perspective, potential crown pattern, right? We could see this continue to fall, stochastic trying to push down out of that sell zone, right? See if that right tip forms and we continue to move down. The other view on this is a head and shoulders pattern here. But that would still also call for potentially a deeper push down before the continuation back up, right? So again, watching to see how price moves, but overall, if we're able to stay above 165,027, right? We'll look for price to rise over the next coming months before we get that longer term move to the downside. Okay. So that's the daily time frame look onto the 4. This is that retracement, the 80-20 play, boom, got to move down. Now we're getting a pullback, right? So watching closely to see how this one develops over time. But overall, right, you see we're in this range here. Okay. You see we're just stuck in this range overall. So we need to break out one direction or the other, give us at least some short-term thoughts before we move. Both these can be used as safe havens. So that is also causing some of the back and forth with the Swissy being more on the weaker side than the yen, just due to rate cuts coming out of Switzerland. Okay, so we shall see. This one is up in the air, right? Not a ton of real direction here for me. Um, and then there's your move there. Okay. So that's the Swiss yen. Um, mm, 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 I'll catch the euro yen and the pound yen as we move through the euros. So inflation coming down, right? Inflation coming down in the eurozone. You see price continue to push to the downside here. Didn't get to our target of the 118 level on this original spike to the upside. So what I'm watching here, we got a stochastic in the buy zone again as we come into this daily level of support, which we've been at before. So do we get a double bottom here, right? If this level holds at this 8-6 retracement, right? Looking for a potential move back to the upside. This will be more on a risk off play than a euro strength play, right? Um, so we'll see, right? And then maybe it's just a retest of the support level here and then a continuation down, right? Because looking for continued euro weakness. Um, but I'm interested to see how the Aussie moves here. Um, with their inflation concerns, right? And they're not moving on cuts just yet. So watching the support level here as we move through the week to see if we're able to get the support level to hold and the swing low to form. Then we'll look for some buying on this Euro Aussie, right? If that level is to hold. Now, if that level breaks, I'm looking for that A boundary to get broken as well, and for price to continue moving to the downside. Okay. We'll look for pullbacks and continuation short. To the 4, we got 80-20. Okay. So let me clean this chart up a little bit. Here, bring that level down. There we go. Now, so here we got an 80-20. So do we get daily support? Daily support to hold with this 118, 127 zone on the 4. Okay, so this is an opportunity here for us to really keep our eyes on for some buying opportunities. Okay, I really want to see that support level at least tested, right? Uh, excuse me. I want to see that support level tested, but if it doesn't, that's okay, right? It'll be a reversal in the zone and then a move back long. Okay, so watch this Euro Aussie for a move back to the upside, at least a short term move, getting us back to the 382, potentially 618 level. Okay. So that's on the 4. Come down to the 1. And you see here on the 1, this D extension is just inside of that support level. Okay. So would love this fib to complete, give us a nice reversal, 80-20 on the 4, right? Daily support, and see if we get a swing low to 4 with stochastic on the daily and the buy zone, right? So tons of confirmation points here on each time frame, kind of giving us an idea that we could be moving back to the upside, at least in the short term here. Okay. So looking for that on this Euro Aussie. Move back long. Questions? Definitely write this one down. Oh, great. 1 second. All right, so it's the Euro Aussie. Let's take a look at this Euro CAD, which has also been long. See, that's also coming back down. So, right, pressing down, stochastic is in the buy zone here. All right, so we got a little bit of divergence happening. We had a swing low form here, right? Are we able to hold this level at 149 and make another move back to the upside? Okay, so we pulled back strong as that data, right, came in. Are we able to turn over and push back to the upside? And this could potentially give us this head and shoulders pattern here. Okay, so watching this 149 level closely. If we break that, we're headed south, right? But we got stochastic in the buy zone, right? That daily the swing low here just formed. So looking for this to be a pullback, maybe give us a double bottom and a push back to the upside here. Okay, so as we come down to the 4, there's a head and shoulders pattern there. Okay. Are we able to hold this level? Are we able to hold that level? Okay. So watching that closely. Watching that closely. You see the cloud starting to press sideways, moving across the screen, right? Telling us that we're in some consolidation, which makes sense, right? And you see it here. So looking to see what happens going forward here. Down to the one. That got taken out. So there we are. We got 80-20 on the one, right? 80-20 on the one. Let's see if we can get this thing to turn over and push back to the upside here. Okay. Questions on the Euro CAD. So Euro Aussie, Euro CAD bullish. Even with the data. All right. See if we get a move back to the upside there. No questions here. All right. Cool deal. Euro Swissy. Range bound right now. 618 retracement level. Stochastic trying to get back into this buy zone. Right. So this is setting up for us for another move to the upside as well. Right. We've been looking forward to, right? Some folks might have taken a position off of this original swing low here, right? Now we've pulled back. Are we able to settle in and make that next move to the upside? Okay. Now you're four. That played out. So here we are. Okay. Deep retracement off the 80-20. It's an 8-6 level. So looking for at least another push to 95.088, but potentially further, right? Due to a Swissy weakness, right? Unless we get a risk off scenario, then all bets are off. We're going to continue running to the downside. So we'll watch and see how that develops overall. But looking long here as well, come down to the one, right? You're sitting deep in the zone still. Sitting deep in the zone still, right? We've tested the cloud a couple times. Do we get double bottom to form here and that reversal? Stayed inside that A boundary. Are we able to stay there and get that move back north? Okay, so these are deep retracement plays. Looking for a continuation to the upside. Questions on the Euro Swiss?
Nope.
Euro yen. Similar to the others, looking for a higher move here. Right? Looking for a higher move here, 166.858 is my mental price target. 1 second. Sorry about that. So looking for price to continue moving long in this short term. Come down to the daily here, right? You can see that swing low form there, move up. Are we able to get another swing low to form at some point here? Okay, yes, stochastic is pushing out of that sell zone. So we could see a little bit more downward pressure before we move back to the upside, but are we able to settle in and make another move to the upside, getting us to this zone here? Okay, so that's the daily coming down to the 4. That's where we sit. Okay. That's where we sit. Broke the cloud, came back, retest the cloud, and see if we can make another push to the upside. Okay. That's the 4 coming down to your 1. Beautiful 80-20 down. Now 80-20 back to the upside. Okay. Got to that 382 there. Pulling back. See if we settle in. All right. Maybe now we got to that the extension. So that sharp move took us out. So waiting for a new fib to form here. But looking for another push to the upside. Okay. Questions on the euro yen. Not clean there, but looking for another swing low to form on the daily. Okay. All right. Euro NZD been pushing down, right? Been pushing down. Coming off the high. Boom. So now broke that key level. Do we get another? Do we get a support to form here? Okay. There's our capital fib. It didn't pop in. But do we settle in here at the 786 level and get another push to the upside? Stochastic trying to push out of this buy zone here. Okay, so are we able to get a swing low to form and a move back north? Watching that closely there. Coming down to your 4. Okay. That's where we're sitting right now. All right. So watching this close to see how price moves to see if we're able to get another push to the upside on this Euro NZD. Okay. So watching there to see how things move. Trying to settle in. Coming down to the 1. There's your fresh AB boundary on the 1. Okay. So looking for another move to the upside here on this Euro NZD. But want to see that swing low form on the daily first. All right. So today and tomorrow, see if we can close bullish here, and that could give us some insight on the next move long. Okay. That's the Euro NZD. Questions there? Nope. Okay. All right. Euro, dollar, pound, yen. Then we'll look at some stocks. So this is always interesting, right? With this euro dollar. So come into some key resistance levels here. Okay, stochastic pushing out of the buy zone. Daily swing high there, pressing back down. We know the DXY, right? Moving up. So it makes sense for this to be moving down. Do we come back to the bottom of this range here at 109? And then what happens from there? Right? 110, 110 even. Um, and then what happens from there, right? So I'm looking for a continued move to the downside, at least in the short term. But what happens with the dollar? Okay. We've retested this resistance once. Do we get another retest here and then a move back to the top of the range? Both cutting, right? but the dollar can also be used as a safe haven if needed. Um, so that's something to keep our eyes on as well, with things happening globally. So, but pressing down right now, this was a swing high. This could also be a swing high if we close bearish tomorrow, right? Makes sense for price to continue to fall to at least that support level. Coming down, right? See double top action there, moving down. So ultimately looking for a low price here. Might even break this 110 level, but looking for a low price to then potentially get back long. We'll see. We'll see what the sentiment is, um, as we get deeper in the zone here, but could be a low price to get back long on the $0. Okay. And then here on your one, that's your look. All right. Haven't gotten to the D extension yet. Not able to break out. So pulling back, waiting on that pullback to see what happens there. Okay. So nothing really doing yet. Right. Just moving to the downside there. Questions on the $? No. All right. Pound yen. Another one, right? We see we got some indecision, right? But I'm looking for my goal. My desire is to see price come back to this level here. 197. Okay. Um, we'll see if we get that. Not a ton higher, but another push to the upside. So we're coming here to the daily. That stochastic is trying to push out of that sell zone. But do we settle in and get another push to the upside, right? And the stochastic turn over and push back up, kind of like how we did here, right? And got another push to the upside. Looking to see if we get that same type of action. Another push to the upside, getting us back into this deep retracement area here, retesting this support, and then moving back down. That's my personal desire. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, looking for another move to the upside before we start this longer continuation move to the downside, right, on this pound yen. I think it'll definitely be a longer term move down, after we potentially get another push up. So 2025 could be the year of the yen and its moves to the downside. All right. Coming down to the four. You see, we got to that 382 there on that fib to the upside. Looking for another push there. Okay. This is at 190, 197 target. Okay. So watching that. And there is potential for a push down before we get that move back up. So keep that in mind. Okay. Then down on your one, here's your 80-20. Right. Beautiful move up. Got to the 382 level. Now we're pulling back. We got a bullish cloud ahead. See if we're able to settle in and make that turn back to the upside. So looking forward to continue long, but we'll watch data, we'll watch geopolitical tension and see how things shake out. All right, so that's my thoughts on the pound yen. Questions on this one?
Well explained, man. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're
I
very
mean,
welcome.
yeah, man. I'm currently in this trade as well, down to the or to the downside, if anything. But of course, with the explaining that part with there may be little bullish pull before it goes back down again. I'm seeing that as well. So I'm just estimating my position and I've just adjusted my stop loss as well. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You're welcome. You're welcome. Great work on that, right? And just continue to manage it because overall, move is down, right? We're just in retracement phase. And the question is, right, how long does that retracement phase last? And current expect in my thoughts, fundamentally, current expectations are for Bank of Japan to increase rates in December, right? So that means for the next 2 months, we're going to see them hold. My thought is if they hold, we see the yen weaken a little bit further before we get that stronger move to the downside with consistent rate increases December moving forward to keep inflation in line, right? So that's my thought. So we'll see how things move there. Okay, cool deal. And then give me 1 minute, everybody. 1 minute, please. All right. Now let's take a look. Joy posted some info in the community regarding smart sheets being acquired by Robert Smith for $8.4 billion. Man, oh man. So let's take a look. Let's see what's happening here. See that gap to the upside on the one. Boom. Moving long. Let's see. Not tons of data, but moving to the upside. All right. Moving to the upside. Stochastic pushing in the sell zone. We'll see what it looks like when the market opens, but been sideways for the past week. Um, but it's been moving long. So there we go. There's our data. There's the data I wanted to see. So I want to see where it is from a Fib perspective first. All right. So the boundary broken on the gap up, just shy of the 118 level. Stochastic pushing into the sell zone. Okay. Broke previous resistance. Let's drop some levels in here. All right. Let's see here. Could be in for a pullback and then a continuation. Let's see what happens. We got these levels of support. Price has just been running. Boom. Okay. Um, so we're long, right? And so looking for pullbacks and continuations. And you see just historically, right, we've gotten nice retracements to come on these moves to the upside. So we extended, we're overextended there, fresh AB boundary formed there. We got the gap up. When this article get posted? 27th on Friday. So Makes sense, right? Gap up on the news of the purchase. Now let's see what happens. Do we get a retracement and then a continuation long? I like it, Joy. I like it. All right, here on the 4, similar look, right? Just shy of that 118, 127 zone. Stochastic pushing down. So we'll see when the market opens. Let's see if we get a retracement here and close some of these gaps. Pull back down to 45, 45.72 will be a nice area for between 43 and 45, right? A nice low price to be able to buy this and look long. So the article that Joy posted, it says 85% of 2024 Fortune 500 companies use the Smart Sheets platform. That's a large market share. All right. So that's a nice chunk. So it's good support for continued use of the platform. This might be a good one to pick up. Might be a good one to pick up. Let's look to see if we get a pullback on this. I'm curious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's watch. Let's continue to watch this. Appreciate you posting this, Joy. I saw it come across my Instagram, but I didn't look into it. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Here on the
That's
one,
where
we
I
got
seen it at
18.
first, but I went to go do some research and then I posted from my Instagram, but Yahoo. Find it.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. Appreciate it big time. All right. So let's see if we can get a pullback here. All right. Let's see if we get a pullback and then moving to the upside. So look, initial looks like it dropped some sevens in the chat for Joy. Initial look, it looks like a great opportunity, right? I'd love to see a low price on it, but uh, Robert Smith is a great investor. So let's watch and see. Let's watch and see. All right. So we'll keep this one noted and have Benny added to his list. Um yeah, let's see if we get a pullback on it. All right, 80-20 on the one here. Like I said, between 43 and 45 would be nice. So we'll see if we get price to push down, right? Close some of these gaps, come back to retest some support levels. If we get that, that'd be a great buying opportunity. But it also looks like just where price is. Um, that makes sense. Um, even where price is, it looks like a potential great opportunity as well. So another one of those long term hold situations, right? Because coming out of the lows, right? Just breaking resistance levels here, right? And just looking at the price history on that, right? Definitely got some upside potential. Definitely got some upside potential. Let's see. Yeah. Cool deal. Cool deal. We'll keep our eyes on this one. Look at that 80-20. Ha! Look at the 80-20 on the daily. Boom. Moving along. Gotta love it. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Nice low price. Questions on anything that we covered this morning, good people? No?
No questions. No questions here.
All right. Appreciate it. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a phenomenal Tuesday.